Good evening and welcome to Weather Fans Live here on Sunday, the 27th of August 23. I hope you're well on this Sunday evening. Tonight, we will take a look at the latest in the tropics, especially in the Atlantic, where there's a potential for a hurricane to hit Florida in the next couple of days. And after that, we'll take a look at our weather for the coming weekend to see what's happening beyond. So let's head straight to it and have a look at the tropics. What we'll take a look at first is what's happening in the Pacific before moving on to the Atlantic side. And double check the Central Pacific before we move on from there. Nothing in the Central Pacific. So we head straight towards the Eastern Pacific where we have Irwin. Now we just tap myself on the screen now. There we go. Hopefully you can hear me. My signal seems to have gone on a bit of a slow there. So currently we have Tropical Storm Irwin with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles an hour, heading west-northwest at 12 miles an hour. And it is not expected to be a hurricane, but stay as a tropical storm force before weakening during later this week. So that's staying out into the Pacific, not the Atlantic, for the rest of this week. Let's move on to the Atlantic, where we currently have two systems on the go. We currently have Hurricane Franklin, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. And we've just got this tropical storm Idalia, who's just been formed in the last 24 hours. And it's just recently been named a tropical storm, probably within the last 5 to 6 hours. So let's have a look at this storm with its key points. So the key messages from tropical storm are... I knew I ended up struggling with this. Idalia is forecast to become a hurricane over the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and there is increasing risk of life-threatening storm surge, flooding from heavy rainfall, and hurricane-force winds along portions of the west coast of Florida and Florida Panhandle beginning as early as Tuesday. Although it is too soon to specify the exact location and magnitude of these impacts, residents in these areas should monitor updates to the forecast, have their hurricane plan in place, and follow any advice given by local officials. Storm surge and hurricane watches may be required for portions of the Gulf Coast of Florida later today. Heavy rainfall is expected across the eastern Yucatan Peninsula and western Cuba, and may produce areas of flash and urban flooding and landslides across western Cuba. Idalia is forecast to become a tropical storm later today. That's already happened now. And tropical storm conditions are expected over portions of Yucatan Peninsula and extreme western Cuba, with tropical storm conditions possible on the Isle of Youth. And scattered flooding from heavy rainfall is likely over in portions of southeast US by mid to late week. So that's something to keep an eye on there. So let's have a look at the forecast track for Idalia. So Idalia is expected to track into the western Florida, maybe making landfall around the Florida Panhandle. It's expected at this stage to possibly cross Florida or southern. Sorry, come on, get your geography right. Into Florida and maybe move across Georgia into South Carolina before heading back out into the Atlantic later this week. But obviously, there is still a lot to play for with this kind of uncertainty. So the center of the storm could be as far as central Georgia, or might not even get into Georgia at all and just go right across Florida. So there's still quite a uncertainty in its track beyond Wednesday. Well, yes, beyond Wednesday. That's the current situation of this storm is maximum sustained winds of 40 miles an hour and currently very slowly moving north at 2 miles an hour. But is expected to pick up in the next couple of days or so. So more warnings will be released probably within the next 24 to 36 hours, my guess will be. So let's have a look at the wind speed probabilities. So the tropical storm wind speed probabilities. So as it approaches the Florida Panhandle, there's at least 60 to 70% chance of tropical storm winds in this area. That like a slice there, you've got 80 to 90% chance. How strong? I'll just see if it will show me how strong it could be. Let's see if that'll tell me. So that my signal, my internet's just slowing down at the moment. Just bear with me. Sorry about the delay, people. My internet's just slowing that right down. So hurricane force wind probabilities, still early days yet. There's just the 30% chance of hurricane force winds in this area, but no doubt within the next 24 hours, that is likely to highly increase. If all is well or unwell, depending how you look at it, this could possibility end up as maybe a category 1 hurricane, maybe a 2. But there's still a lot of uncertainty at this very early stage of Idalia. So the arrival times of winds. So at the moment, the wind, so tropical storm winds probably not expected to hit Florida till early. Keep an eye on this. We'll take Hopefully I'm back on the live again. I don't know what happened there. Let's try and get the screen share back on. Message from Andy here saying, good evening, Michael. Feeling very chilly at Scunthorpe tonight. There's definitely a cooler feel to the air. We'll take a look at that probably in around about the next 5 to 10 minutes. So let's have a look at Hurricane Franklin and see where this storm is heading. So currently maximum sustained winds of 100 miles an hour, moving north to northwestwards at 8 miles an hour. It's expected to turn into a major hurricane in the next few days before decreasing in speed as it enters the northern portions of the Atlantic. So this is not expected to hit eastern side of America. It's going to head slightly towards the west before maybe perhaps brushing Bermuda on its way past. And there's a possibility here with the huge gap here that it might get picked up by the jet stream. But where that goes, we'll have a look in just a few moments. So let's have a look closer to home and the latest outside for the UK. Oh, I'll take that message off there now. So across the UK at the moment, we do have some showers affecting parts of western areas and eastern areas. And you can hear the pinging straight away. We do have some thunderstorms in parts of Europe. And I believe there was an instance earlier on today in Mallorca involving, I think, a P&O cruise. That may have been caused by a squall line moving through earlier on today. Around Mallorca, we've still got some heavy showers. There are some thunderstorms still in that vicinity around the Balearic Sea. Also, we've got possibly, I guess that's maybe like a supercell there actually. Just in the Mediterranean Sea off the Italian coast. Can I take a look at the satellite imagery for that? So potentially, as I mentioned, potential supercell there. Look at all that firing off on that. Wish you were here. Yes, please. Sounds like good severe thunderstorms for parts of Italy there. I know they've been hit by severe storms once again in the last few days, causing large hail and quite strong winds. That's one heck of an active cell there. And I think some of these showers across the Netherlands into Denmark, I think a few of these have been thundery, and we've got maybe a strong cell there towards Poland. Let's have a zoom in on that before we head into our UK weather. So some severe thunderstorms around Lublin. So yeah, close to home, we just got a few almost like light showers now across the UK. So let's see what's going on out there at the moment with the UK fax charts. So these are the UK fax charts from the Met Office as of 6 p.m. tonight. And we've got this convergence line down the eastern side of the UK. And we've got these weather fronts, which are virtually dying a death, really, in the next 12 to 24 hours in western areas. We've got high pressure weather to our southwest. So let's have a look what happens in the next 24 hours. Our convergence line disappears, and we've got this decaying weather front, which could give 1 or 2 maybe light showers through tomorrow, but probably turn into more of a band of cloud. We've got a ridge of high pressure trying to move from the southwest there. And as we're seeing it on the we've got severe thunderstorms affecting parts of Italy at the moment, which there's probably some more severe storms for them to come in the next few days. As we head into midnight into Tuesday, we've still got a ridge of high pressure coming up from the southwest. Then lots of more weather fronts moving across, which could produce some rain or showers through into Tuesday. Then behind that, we're getting turned to that actually weather front is actually the decaying front. So again, there could be some showers left over from that, with another band of possible cloud as well. And again, we're under a ridge of high pressure through Wednesday. Maybe some showers there for Scotland. So it's like Wednesday's going to be at the stage of dry day. We've got high pressure centered towards the far southwest of the Iberian coast, and another of high pressure building just to the east of Iceland. And as we head into Thursday at this stage, we've got some more weather fronts coming up from the southwest, introducing southwesterly winds. So it could be a milder sector there. Maybe a period of rain coming through there for Thursday. So let's have a look at the latest GFS from NetWeather. Let's have a look at the sea level pressure charts. We'll have a look at the upper airs in just a moment. So we're under a slight northwesterly there, with that area of high pressure just sat towards our southwest and low pressure towards our northeast. So this is showing an area of low pressure sat towards our northwest, getting a bit of a southwesterly flow by the end of this week. What happens now? That seems to fill, and area of high pressure seems to have tried to build just to the east of Iceland. We've got, is that possible, the remnants? Yes, that's potential. That could be Franklin there coming up into the Atlantic there for Friday. What does this do with Franklin? That sends that up into Greenland, and that actually establishes an area of high pressure across much of the UK actually into next weekend. So we're in a bit of a slack flow there. Potential low pressure building up there, maybe possibly from the south. We'll have a look at the upper airs in just a moment. So if there's any warm air there, that could potentially give us some heavy rain and 1 or 2 storms, but we'll have a look in a moment. That does actually gives an area of low pressure through into Tuesday the 5th. And it's looking a little bit stormy towards the Atlantic there, but that low pressure does fill again. So ridge of high pressure tries to build up from the southwest once again as we head into the second week of September, and that has high pressure sat across the UK for the second week of September. So let's have a look at the upper air, see if we've got any warm air trying to get in. So we're currently sat on the I've actually green there across parts of the UK there, but yellows take over. And any warmth stays out really towards Iberia. Even across parts of Central Europe now has got much cooler. Got that area of low pressure over towards Italy. Any warm air is getting sent up towards Poland and the Ukraine as well. So much of northern into Central Europe is remaining quite cool for at least the start of this week. Any hints of warmth returning? A little bit of warmth there towards the south, that southwesterly. Then we start to see that 15-degree isotherm sneaking back up across western France. That seems like it does try to get into the south of the UK there by next weekend. So temperatures could be back into the low 20s by the end of the week in any sunshine. But there's cooler air just sat out towards west. Whoops, daisy. I was keen to reintroduce the cooler air for what we know. Is that 2 weeks away? Yes, it is. So we're looking at 2 weeks away on this latest run. That kind of introduces a bit warmer air for the end of this current run. Let's have a look at the temperatures. We'll quickly run through these. So this latest GFS run, we're looking around about the high teens, maybe the very low 20s down the southeast for tomorrow. Then Tuesday, we're looking high teens, low 20s for parts of England and Wales. Cooler towards Scotland, where temperatures, especially across the Highlands, maybe about 10 to 11. Wednesday, again, temperatures mid to high teens and maybe 20, 21, 22 down the far southeast. Thursday, that's possibly showing like a band of rain for northern areas, keeping the temperature down to 13 or 14 degrees. And temperatures perhaps the high teens, low 20s across parts of the South Midlands into southeastern Wales. Then at the Friday at this stage, temperatures are again mid to high teens, so low 20s there for parts of southern counties into southeast England. We can start seeing that heat build up again across parts of northern France. Next Saturday at this stage, with temperatures again into the low to perhaps mid-20s there for much of the Midlands, into Wales, northern England, and mid to high teens for parts of Scotland into the far north of England. I'll just take this through till next Sunday. Next Sunday, I'll say maybe again we've got maybe like a weather front across parts of northern England, keeps temperatures into the low teens. We've hold on to some heat there down the southeast, temperatures again low 20s. Through parts of the Midlands into Wales, we're looking at high teens there. What we'll have a look at next actually is a look at the rainfall from the high resolution model, the UKV. Let's see what's going on with the rainfall for the next few days. So there's those showers affecting parts of the northeast earlier on today. These will die out. Try to get my teeth in it. Die out as we go through the night with that band of cloud coming across central areas. Could produce a few light showers, but they'll fade during the day. Band of possibly heavy showers there affecting parts of Scotland there through into Tuesday morning. And that gives us the risk of some showers across the UK on into Tuesday. Some of these could be on the heavy side. The odd rumble of thunderclap ruled out. Again, some scattered showers there for Wednesday. And that's showing some quite heavy downpours there for perhaps southwest England through into Thursday. Along the south coast, there may be some more showers for parts of Wales into the Midlands and East Anglia, maybe for Thursday. We'll keep an eye on that. Some of these, again, looks like could be on the heavy side with some rumbles of thunder. And that sends another band through there through Wales into the Midlands, parts of northern England into hours of Friday. And that's as far as we can go with this UK model for the rainfall. We'll take one more last thing, which is the ensembles, the ECMWF ensembles, see what they're showing. Let's go for the centre of England. See what that 2 metre temperatures are showing for the next couple of weeks. So it looks like we've got a bit of a warming trend as we head into the end of the week, into next weekend. Temperatures potentially could be back into the very high teens, low 20s. And it's definitely cool the next few days. Also, we've got this uptrend for the into next week. And there's a bit of a scatter there between 14 and 22 degrees. So potentially temperatures could get warmer, as I mentioned, into perhaps the low 20s as we head through into next week. Let's have a look at the pressure charts. There's a show of high pressure moving in. So yeah, that's that ridge of high pressure moving in during the week. Then I like perhaps some spell of some showers or rain towards next weekend. And there's definitely a trend, more of a trend there for high pressure to move in towards the first and second week of September. Although there is quite a bit of scatter there between about 1,000 and 30 millibars. And there's one ensemble there which going down to about 995. But most of the trend is looking at much higher pressure than we've got at the moment. The upper airs, quite cool at the moment, but there's a little bit of hints there of a bit of a warming there as we head into next week. So that will clarify with the temperatures going perhaps into the low 20s once again. But as we go on further into days 10 to 14, there's a hell of a lot of scatter once again. And the total rainfall for the next couple of weeks for the West Midlands, it's more or less flat lines really through this week. Maybe some showers coming through then, showing a bit more of a uptick in the rainfall there. Some of these could be some showers with the increased temperatures. So we could have some heavy showers breaking out due to the increased temperatures. We've got a crazy ensemble there showing of over 100 millimeters, which that looks like it's well over Africa. But looking at that spike there, that could even be showing maybe like a thunderstorm of some sort as we head into Monday the 4th of September, but that is a long way off yet. No, not a week off yet. So let's have a look. I'm guessing this is Andy watching at the moment. That is enough for now. And I should be back on Thursday. We'll get back to you what's happening with the lives at the moment. We'll keep updated as well with the potential hurricane to hit Florida in the next few days. So thank you to Andy that's watching live with me. And I'll also see you again soon. Thanks for watching and good night. Ta-ta.